Morning.
How's it going today?
Not too bad. How are you?
Pretty good. Nice bike ride.
Yeah, it's a good day for it.
Yeah. Get the butt pumping.
I love your shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Going here, being active. Like that. Yeah, it's only like $3, so you couldn't just a temptation.
Where'd you find that at?
Walmart.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, I think like 2 or 3 years ago.
That's how I feel about cats. I'm more terrified of them than I am sharks. I'm not really scared of them. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah. I don't mind them, I guess, as long as they stick to themselves and don't like mess around with them.
I just have this theory that every cat is out to kill me. So, like everybody, oh look, it's so cute. The cat's wet. Oh look, it's rubbing itself around your legs. No, it's trying to trip me in hopes I break my neck.
Well, yeah, that's what I think about dogs. Well, not all dogs, but my mom's dog, because he got some cataract in his eyes, so he's kind of like blind and deaf. He's like 13 years old or whatever. And, like, no matter where she goes or whatever.
Under your feet.
Yeah, in between the legs. And,
What kind of dog is that?
oh, it's just a Shih Tzu.
Ah, well, there you go.
Yeah, so you can't really see it because it's just like a little tiny ninja.
Give you something to check out when you have time. It's not related to school.
Oh, okay.
It's completely
Oh, nice.
apart from it. It's
Are you Tom?
I'm Todd. Tom wrote it,
Okay.
and I'm part of an outreach. It's called from a group called Wretched, and they send out this material, and we go out around college campuses and in different regions. Well, pretty much across the entire United States.
Oh, okay. That's
So,
cool.
one of the things that we do is we like to talk to students. Notice I didn't say kids. We like to talk to students on college campuses because of the they tend to think a lot because they're in that process where they're being challenged, hopefully by professors and instructors to think about worldviews and bring the things that they're learning to kind of to bear on how they've thought in the past.
Okay.
And so one of the things that this book is, have you heard of postmodernism?
Kind of, not really, I guess.
It'd be one of those things where, what was your name?
Dayton.
Dayton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Todd. I'm sure you got class, so I won't try and keep you for too long. So when is your class?
Oh, it's at 10.
Oh, so I have a few minutes.
Yeah, certainly.
So your name should be easy for me to remember. I've got a cousin named Dayton. It's not very common.
No, yeah, I met maybe 1 or 2 other Daytons.
So what postmodernism is when you have a conversation. So, and I was just having another conversation with a student, and they weren't really familiar with the term postmodernism. But when you start to describe it, people go, "Oh, I get it." And so it's kind of like the idea of whether or not there's absolute truth. So.
Okay.
So if you're having a discussion with somebody and you're on this side of the argument and they're on that side of the argument and you're both diametrically opposed,
Yeah.
you're clearly one of you thinks you're right and the other one thinks they're right,
Yeah.
and then the neutral party would be listening and go, well, you're both right. Well, that's postmodernism,
Okay.
because it says that even though you're diametrically opposed, your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth.
Oh, okay.
And as long as I believe what I believe to be true and you believe what you believe to be true, that's true.
Okay.
And so this book addresses that idea and says it's not possible for two people to be, and I'm really kind of giving you a really short synopsis of the book. So what it does is it looks at it and says if you're diametrically opposed on an issue, if you're not on the same side of the issue, there's no way that you're both right.
Okay. I see what
You could both be wrong,
Yeah.
but you can't both be right. So, and that's kind of what it does is it asks people to think about their worldview and ask them whether or not they believe in things like absolute truth.
Okay.
So, is there any such thing, Dayton, as absolute truth?
I guess it's hard to define that one. I mean, there could be, but it all depends on your thinking, how you go about life, I guess. To me, that's, like before, I always thought, like, no matter what I say, like, I'm always correct or right, but since I've, like, grown up.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, since I've grown up, went to college, I just expanded my horizon of, like, no matter, even if I do think I'm always right, there's always somebody out there that might know something else that I might not know.
Right. So you're willing to have your horizons expanded, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're not afraid to be challenged in something that you believe.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, the more you get challenged, I think the more smarter and in tune with not just yourself, but with other cultures of people and just the world in general.
Right. So it's not an issue of you saying, well, there is no absolute truth. It's an issue of you saying, look, I might believe something right now, and somebody could come along in the future and show me
Like
a different way, or even show me how I'm wrong without belittling me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even if you debate or argue, it doesn't mean you hate the other person.
Right.
Whatnot. It's just.
So how old are you, Dayton?
I'm 30.
Yeah. See, so you're
Yeah, I got a little experience.
you have a little experience,
Yeah.
and you know, and that's something that. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
Oh, I was just gonna say I still got a long way to go, but.
Oh well, I'm 40. I'm going to be 49 next. You know, at the end of this week. So
Happy early birthday then.
Oh, hey, thanps. I appreciate it. I think. I don't know how I feel about being a year away from 50, but I don't feel it. You know, the older I get, the younger I feel. In the sense of, all of a sudden, when I was 20, 50 was, man, you're old. Now I'm gonna be 50 next year, and I'm like,
my parents
60 ain't that old now.
Yeah, it's like, you know, to me, age is just a number. Like you said, it's how you feel. It's kind of how, or even if you're like 50 or 60, if you feel like you're still 20 or 30, you still have that mentality. It still makes you feel like that better as a person. I think. I still feel like I'm 16 to a certain extent, but
I think if you buy in a little bit, I think unfortunately into the hype of, well, now that I mean, there's something to be said for learning to be mature.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's not necessarily anything that says as you chronologically mature, you have to also become physically, you know, decrepit. Yeah. So all of a sudden I'm going to be 50 next year, and now I have to, you know.
Yeah, you have to get like a cane.
Or get a cane. Yeah. Do you grow up in the Austin area?
Kind of, sort of. Not really. I grew up in Lyle my whole life mostly.
Oh, okay.
I went to Lyle or Austin for a little bit, but then went back to Lyle. That's pretty much where our group of friends were the entire time, so I pretty much just tried to stick with them as much as I could.
Oh yeah, once you get into it, the core group, and they get to know you, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, right.
Morning. Sometimes there's safety and familiarity.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. That's how I felt too. Like, because I always wanted to branch out, but I want to get used to school and the aspect and schedule of doing it since I started working full time too.
So you're working full time and doing school full time?
Yeah.
Where you work?
I just started at McDonald's, just something kind of simple. Well, not really simple because it's a lot, but
there's nothing simple about food service.
Yeah.
Nothing simple about food service.
Because I went in there and like they're training me on the initiation line and everything, and it's just like it's easy, but it's hard to the concept or whatever that you need.
You have to work at a certain pace.
Really fast.
Yeah. There's no. It's not like working in a little fine dining eatery where they only have 5 tables at a night.
Exactly,
you know, like you're gonna. You know, which one are you working at here in town?
The one on Oakland.
So down by
Quick Trip
that kind of butts up next to Quick Trip and kind of was that is it Crossroads Mall or that strip?
That little like the main strip or whatever they call it.
And that one gets busy.
Oh yeah, I learned that what was it? Not yesterday, but a Saturday. It was like my first or second day on the job, and they put me on the initiation line. And it got really busy, so they took me off. Well, they took me off after it got like just bombarded with people. Because like the managers, like they're so fast because they got so much experience. And I was like, all right, you guys got this. I'm gonna go clean and do something else for you.
Until I learn to get up to that speed.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to keep you for too long, but I'll give you this. You can use it as a bookmark in, well, not that one. Yeah, put that in there, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the book when you're done reading it.
Okay.
So definitely, I'm, not going to beat around the bush in that sense. It definitely approaches the the idea of truth from a Judeo-Christian, from a very biblical perspective.
Okay.
And
so on this, just to, do you want me to go to the website or email you?
You can actually go. I gotta update my card because my website's approved now.
Okay.
So if you go to the website, if you just go to the actual website and you do a contact form on there.
Okay.
Just go to contact and that'll send me an email directly to my email account. And then when I get my new cards, I can actually get the right email address on there.
Okay.
So,
there you go, buddy.
But yeah, it addresses the idea of truth and where truth comes from a biblical perspective. Okay. And I like the fact that you said that you can have a conversation with somebody even if you're not 100% in agreement with them without it being hostile, because that's really hard to find these days.
Oh, it's so hard. Like, no matter what you do, it seems like if you watch the news or anything like that, it's always like somebody bickering or arguing about something, and then another person. Of course, they're like always opinionated, but like the way they go about it always seems like just to escalate to like actually like just a big.
I was thinking, there's a lady out in Colorado. She owns a restaurant and it's called Shooter's Grill, and all the wait staff, all the servers carry sidearms. They carry a handgun.
Oh,
and it's hence the name Shooters. Yeah, and they just a second. Give you something to check out when you have some time.
All right.
How about you?
Sure.
Have a good day.
You too.
And she was. I don't know if you know who the presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke is. If you heard of him,
I've seen him a couple times.
He had said he's from Texas.
Yeah, I don't think he's is he the bi one? I know there's one that.
No, that's the guy from out east, Buttigieg.
Yeah,
Give you something to check out when you have some time.
No, I'm going to class. Sorry. But thank you.
Well, when you have time. He's the one from Texas, and he had made the comment back at the beginning, towards the beginning of the month, about firearms and how if he's president, he's going to take everybody's AR-15s away and he's going to take everybody's AK-47s away. Yeah. And this gal, this lady, she's not a gal, she's a business owner and a mom, and she went to this rally that he was having, and she went up to ask a question, and she couldn't even hardly ask the question without people screaming at her and booing her. And hey, First Amendment guarantees you the right to say whatever you want to say, without actually inciting violence against individuals. But we've lost a certain level of civility in society today, where and there's a certain segment of society today where if you say something that they disagree with, they think it's their duty not only to silence you, but to belittle you.
Yeah, like, it's pretty pathetic that they do it in like such a rash, vulgar way. It's like, well, what happens to my right to say what I want?
You look at the Antifa guys. If you've heard of them, they're the ones that run around and go to maybe more conservative rallies and throw rocks and hit people with bike chains, and they wear masks and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's not how dialogue's ever really been intended to be done in the United States. Yeah. So when you said, I think it's great that you have that view that you can have a disagreement with someone and not.
Yeah, it's like, to me, it's like any culture, any region, area. I mean, they should always have a freedom to voice their opinion, no matter if they're like Muslims or just any foreign culture or whatever. It's just because you don't agree with them or they look completely different than the way that you were brought up or seen on TV doesn't mean they're all exactly the same as one group that might be bad in that same.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, sorry, Todd.
No, you got to go. I didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
No, sorry, sir.
You have a good day, man.